Hey everybody, Troy Haynes from Transformative Technologies Australasia, and I am connected. I'm excited to have you all here this evening. This here is a mid-program pitch festival in partnership with Startup Tablelands, Transformative Technologies Global, Advance Queensland, the Australian Government, and Minimal Viable Data. We've been working with founders from across Australasia and a couple of international guests as part of a founder mentoring program. It's a 4-month program. We've been supporting founders to move along the commercialization path. Underlying this, we've been using the minimal viable data framework, and so we'll hear some more about that tonight. I might just start though by just giving a little bit of context around transformative technologies. But first, welcome. It's great to have you all here. It's a 2-hour event, so settle in. We've got great participation. We've got some really cool experts as part of our panel. We're going to hear some really cool pitches. But like I said, before I get into it, I just wanted to sort of give you a little bit of context for people that aren't familiar with transformative technologies, what it is. Because we are an ecosystem that supports entrepreneurs and innovators to build technologies. And it's a global community, 72 countries, 450 cities, headlines out of San Francisco under the guidance of Nicole Bradford. And it's been going for, the community as a whole has been going for, I think, 5-6 years. And we're really fortunate to have Paula here, who is head of global community and projects tonight as one of our panelist members. So we'll hear from Paula in a little bit just to say hi. But we are in a lot of the major cities around the world. We have chapter leads. Again, they're working at a local level to support the development of their local ecosystems, and then we're plugging these into the global ecosystem. So tonight, this is Transformative Technologies Australasia. And what we're all working towards as a united vision is to elevate the human mind to flourish, to help consciousness to evolve. I mean, our target is 1 billion people by 2030 through every transformative technology product and service. And to do that, like I mentioned, we're supporting entrepreneurs and innovators to build technologies. And so as part of doing that is building out an ecosystem. Entrepreneurship's it's a community sport. It takes a village to raise a startup, they say, and it's damn hard work. And so as we hear from these founders tonight, I think we have 9-10 pitches. It's great if we could be a really awesome audience and give them our best, because it's, as we all know, everybody on this call, I'm sure you can appreciate how tough it is to be a founder, to really take an idea and to turn it into a reality. There's so many different moving parts, and that doesn't even take into consideration the human element, which is extremely challenging in its own right. So transformative tech takes a lot of these exponential and emerging technologies, and we apply them to mental health, well-being, or mental wellness, human performance, and human potential. And so why technology? Technology takes what's scarce and it makes it abundant, makes it accessible, scalable, and affordable. And so it's what we need to realize that vision. If we're going to lift humanity out of this cognitive and mental crisis that we're currently in, it's a we, it's not an I. So it's a community effort. So we'd love to have you involved if this is your first time as part of Transformative Tech, at future events, to get involved in programs. If you're joining us from internationally, join up a chapter that's closest to you. And if you don't have one, get in touch and we'll show you how you can plug into the global community. And so for tonight, I'm going to invite Christine Doan in a moment she's one of Startup Tablelands, one of the key partners and key drivers, and someone I admire a lot in terms of helping to build out our local ecosystem here. And by local, I mean Australia, local in terms of context to the world. They've been really supportive there in a regional and rural area. Actually, I might throw to you now, Christine, and then we'll run through this. So if you wouldn't mind just saying hey and introducing yourself.
I'd love to. Thank you, Troy. Christine Doan, and I'm here representing Startup Innovation Tablelands tonight. Now, ST, which we call Startup and Innovation Tablelands because it's far too long to say, is the only entrepreneurial hub that we know of which really focuses on transformative tech and advocates for transformative tech and is based not only regionally, but in a rural setting. If I could show you my backyard, it's banana trees and rainforest everywhere. We love our collaboration with TT Australasia, and we've already done 2 preceding events. If you're interested in recordings or information about those, let us know in the chat. I'm sure Seamus will throw a link or several links in the chat for you. If you're interested in that we want to take care of that. But we also want to invite you to keep up with us because we'll have 2 more events in 2021. They're already in the planning stages. And before I toss back to Troy, I just want to say that Troy has been such a huge inspiration for ST and for me personally. And I can't thank him enough, and I think all of you will feel the same way, for really getting into this transformative technology that we need so desperately. But I also want to thank him for something that's a little less obvious to a lot of people, and that is his genius, his just essential brilliance at building ecosystems. So with that, big thank you, Troy. And of course, thank you to everyone else who's here, Anuraj and everyone, the whole team and all the attendees. Good luck to those who are pitching. I'll toss back to Troy and we'll get on with it. Thanks.
Thanks, Christine. I appreciate you. Appreciate your generosity and your kind words. Community is really important, right? It is, when we talk about consciousness, for me, I believe we are one consciousness, and there's going to come a point where we move from an I to a we. And Anuraj talks about a we-topia. I really resonate with that. And so perhaps some of the pitches that we hear tonight will be helping to guide us in that direction. So this here is what we've come down to as a pitch order. So for those pitching tonight, we've got Kim Serafini from Positive Prime. Kimbo, we got you up first. We thought we'd leave with our ace. Not to say that everybody else isn't an ace, but we love you, Kim, and we love the work that you're doing at Positive Prime. Olu is one of our international guests with Life Rhythms, so we'll have you up second. So as be aware of who you're following, because what we want you to do is have your slide deck ready to go. So when it's your turn to share your screen, it'd be great to minimize the fumbling, try to do as much of that as you can in the background. But in saying that, I want to take the pressure off all of those pitching tonight as much as possible. Like this event has been set up in such a way so that it's a point in time that you can work to, you can refine your messaging, you can refine your pitch structure, you can do the research that you need, you can hustle to get those customers that you wanted to, do your research projects, work through the MVD framework, and show us, essentially tell the story as best as you can tonight. And for those perfectionists out there, there's always going to be more that you can do, and we're always going to wish that we were there. But just enjoy being where you are. Here, we're going to be a really, really great audience and support you where you're at. And so Olu, and then we've got David from Linkmate, Marga from Cordy Kids, Paul Warren from Sensor Guided Living, Dave from My Resolve, Camilla, I'm not sure if is Camilla on the line? Camilla is one of those that was pushing really hard, wanting to pitch, and I admire that. She wasn't sure she was going to be ready in time, but I've left a space there in case she is. So Camilla, if you're online and you're ready, let's get you up. Let me just have a quick look to see if I can. Oh, you are awesome, Camilla. Like, I'd love for you to pitch, and we'll be here for you. There'll be magic in the doing. Cara from Minimal Viable Data, Peter, and then I'm going to finish up. I want to share I Am Connected. Like, a key part of ecosystem development, the reason I do it is because I want to be surrounded by others. I want to build the ecosystem around me. I've got ideas as well. And so I've been busting my butt to refine my ideas as well. And, I wish I was further along, but I am where I am. And I want to share that with you tonight as well. But before we get into it, I just also want to acknowledge our expert panel, Anuraj, our entrepreneur in residence. I was just talking to Christine earlier, today, what a great job you've been doing, Anuraj. We've really appreciated you as our expert in residence. I think we've still got a month and a half left in the program. I wish it was longer, but I hope that we continue to work forward. And I think we will continue to work long into the future. Did you want to say just a quick hello, mate?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Troy. It has been such a pleasure to be here, I would say. And just want to echo what Christine said earlier. I mean, especially you, Troy. You have been a great inspiration. And I think just being surrounded by amazing people with the global TransTech community and everybody here, it is just a great pleasure. And I'll definitely be here much longer than anybody wants. So, yeah. Yeah.
I will want you for the long haul, mate. And for me, what we're working towards is elevating human consciousness collectively, right? What could be more important than that? And so I'm all in on it. That's why for me, it's worth pushing, just pushing and pushing and pushing, because what could be more important? Paula, you talk about someone that's amazing, that's doing incredible things and building community and just helping to lead by the front, someone that I've admired. I've had the pleasure of spending a little time with her in the real when I went over to San Francisco for the 2029 Transformative Technology Conference. Paula, did you want to say a quick hello? Paula's one of our expert panel members tonight.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Troy. I'm way far from expert, but I'm really excited to be in here and, see some of these interesting faces that some of them I already know. And also I'm really excited to learn more about their companies and the ones that I don't know as well. And, there's nothing much more than I can say about Transformative Tech that you haven't said. And just like Christine and Anuraj and everybody in this room says about you, it's always a pleasure to be part of these events and to be part of, this community that you are building in Australasia. And I can see that, I feel really, really grateful to have you because this community could not exist without people like you that are pushing and promoting the opportunity for founders to get access to resources, to experts, to programs. So I'm just excited to see what's going on today and to, give just a little bit of feedback from my perspective, but I'm mostly learning here from the company. So I just, I can't wait to see the pitches.
Awesome, Paula. Thanks for joining. So you're in Spain, right, at the moment?
Yes,
yeah.
I'm in the beautiful island of Mallorca, La Isla Bonita.
Well, thanks for being here with us. It's great to know that from a local level that there is this global ecosystem of mentors and investors and other founders that we can connect with all around the world. So it's really inspiring to be part of something bigger. But in saying that, I also want to acknowledge I got a text from Nate. He's was one of our chief evangelists. He can't be here tonight. He's caught up doing his day job, but he's been one of the key drivers of Transformative Technology Australasia. Also, Cara Burns, one of my partners in crime with Minimal Viable Data. I just want to acknowledge her as well. She's been tremendous support. Christine Doan, of course. Ruben, our engineer in residence, for his wisdom. And just, it's because of Ruben that we have Anuraj. He's the one that he said pull the trigger on it, and we did. We applied for a grant and we got it. So we're able to get Anuraj on board. And so we're really excited to build out the community more broadly throughout Australia as well. We want to set up more chapters. But it's that core driving group it's not just me. It's everybody. It's a we. And speaking of we's and building out the ecosystem, I'm really excited to have these next two expert guests or panelists here tonight, Darren Tasker, who's the head of ventures for Venture Crowd. Darren, who I've just met tonight, but I've heard so much about through Anuraj, through Constantine, through a number of people. Darren, it'd be great if you just say a quick hello for us.
Yeah, thanks, Troy. Hi, everyone. Yeah, looking forward to tonight. There's nothing better to listen to than founders who, love what they're doing, love their purpose, and, aiming to build companies that are just an extension of who they are. That's looking forward to it.
Could you tell us a little bit about Venture Crowd?
Sure. Venture Crowd's a digital crowdfunding platform. So we raise capital from institutional to retail level, have a 60,000 person database, a lot of high net worth wholesale investors, very much a for-purpose crowdfunding platform. So directly aligned with United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. So we look to take on startups, ventures that are aligned with what we're about, and use the database and our investor base to align that capital with the founders and their team and their customer base. Often the capital is the least aligned part of what a founder does, and I guess we think there's a better way of doing that. So that's our goal.
That's awesome, mate. So relevant for a lot of people on the call tonight, if not now, at some point in the future. So it's great to have you on the call. So thanks for joining us, mate. And Constantine, who is the co-founder of Consciousness Accelerator, someone that I've met relatively recently. Again, when you start really, I think when you're on purpose with what it is that you're doing, you start meeting people that know people that know people, and you start finding like-minded friends. And I think Constantine's one of these fellow travelers. He's got a lot of experience in the startup space, working as a mentor. I think you're one of the head of head of capital for Venture Crowd, as well as the co-founder of Consciousness Accelerator. Constantine, it'd be great if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, say a few words, and keen to hear more about what you're doing in this sort of space at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I think it might be contextually relevant for everyone here. I was the previous head of ventures at Venture Crowd, so Darren and I worked together. But over the last 10 years have had various roles in incubators, accelerators, venture capital firms, and have had 400 startups come through my bootcamp programs over mainly in Australia, but also in third world countries. That was funded by United Nations Industrial Development Organization. So I've seen quite a lot of pitches. I've helped people, get ready for investment committees. It's an area that, I don't do a lot of these days because last year, as a result of lockdown and whatnot, I kind of realized that there's a bigger game that I'd like to play. And so I co-founded it's actually Conscious Accelerator, which is not your average accelerator in terms of accelerating businesses or anything like that. It's actually accelerating entrepreneurs and leaders in their direct experience of the maturity of their consciousness. So totally different type of business, which is evolving. But where, what's obvious at the moment is, and what I'm really excited about and really, really happy to be invited to this, Troy, thank you, and Anuraj, is I didn't even know this kind of incubator accelerator existed for this kind of space. This space is a space that I really, really care about a lot. And the fact that I've, got a lot of scars and a lot of experience in curating, let's say, investor readiness for startups is a great mix. And so being able to marry those two worlds in this context is great. And I look forward to the pitches and being in support of this mission, because I think it's something that the world needs. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I'm so glad to have connected, and I'm excited to have further discussions moving forward about how we can synergize our efforts and multiply the efforts of what we're doing. So thanks to our expert panel. Thanks to everybody for joining us. If you feel to, please let us know where you're from in the chat. So just to confirm the structure, 5-minute pitches, a warning bell at 4 minutes 30. Alison, would you mind just giving us the warning bell again, please? So maybe even just a little bit louder one more time. So when you hear that, that means you've got 30 seconds to go. I think I know we're a little over time, but we've got some fat in the schedule. So my feeling is if the person's close to the end, when it gets to 5 minutes, Alison's going to go time. If the person's just about finished, then let's let them finish. If they've got 10 slides to go, we'll probably wrap you up. So that's kind of like how I'm feeling to play it, but I'll be in the panel members' hands and Alison, our timer's hands. For the founders, just have one more last look at this pitch, who you're following. And Camilla, if you can confirm if you are going to pitch, that would be great. Once I take these slides off, I'll post this into the chat so that we can just follow along. Any questions before we get started? Awesome. All right, I'm going to stop share and I'm going to invite Kim. What I'll do is I'll spotlight.
Just one question. How much time do the advisors have for their feedback?
You have
2 minutes in total?
2 minutes. Yeah, ideally about 2 minutes.
Is that each or total?
Total. So it's not a great amount of time, but we can.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just going to.
Be a little bit flexible on that.
Yeah, we can see how we're going for time as well. Sorry, one sec. Bring Kimbo up. All right. So you're in the spotlight, Kim. You're welcome to share your screen. And over to you.
Good evening and good morning and good afternoon for some of you. I'm Kim Serafini, the founder, creator and CEO of Positive Prime Technology. It's fantastic to be here. We exist to make an even brighter day every day for those we serve. We're essentially solving people's problems, whether that's an entrepreneur's mindset or somebody's divorce in turmoil or a teacher's classroom in chaos. We effectively are, quite frankly, a neuroscientific, positive psychology-based platform. We have exercises and activities that bring about a better, brighter world for everyone. And we've been able to scientifically prove that. So our efficacy testing has actually shown that within 3 minutes, the effects of our key product, which we call a Positive Prime session, lasts for up to 6 to 8 hours. Who are we? We're a little mix between Headspace and Calm meets Muse meets Heart Math for heart rhythm coherence meets Masterclass meets Udemy, Happify, Mind Valley, and Aura. We essentially have started with what we call a Positive Prime session, and it is an audio-visual presentation with a formula that is proprietary inside a proprietary player. It's not a movie or video. It's not a slideshow. It's something akin to all of that, but 1,000 flashcards actually flow in front of your eyes. I can show you an example of one playing right here, right now. Every single image is perfectly curated and adheres to clinically evaluated techniques. There's all sorts of images that actually ignite the way that your biochemistry works inside your brain and your body, so that you end up feeling, quite frankly, happier and healthier. And so we effectively put together these things called sessions, along with contributing authors who are coaches and therapists. And we have now over 1 million sessions viewed. We're really good these days. We've been going since about 2 years ago at tracking our data, who's using us, where from, why, what content are they watching, for how long, and so forth. And we have these very interesting key aspects of what it is that we do. But ultimately, the bottom line is that we're super accessible, we're fast, and we can actually prove that we create a change inside your brain. We've got all this content that actually breaks down into categories, and we've done some pretty fancy co-promotion launches, one in particular with the very famous Harvard teacher who worked with Tal Bencher here and has his own Science of Happiness e-course on the Oprah Winfrey Network. What that then led us to be able to do was work with New York Times bestselling authors to actually convert their content into what we call sessions. And we've got lots of traction. There are lots of really great, very high profile influencers who are now supporting or endorsing what it is that we're doing. We have one mission, and that is to make the world a brighter place. That means much more peaceful for each of us internally, and then we radiate that out. We're at the stage now where we're developing our AI and ML aspects. We've actually got the preceding parts. That means that we can capture a face by asking our subscribers, of which we have over 1,000 paying us, which equals about $200,000 in subscription income per year. And we have coaches who use us, which also increases our income to an additional $2,000 a year. And I run a mastermind. And in January, I raised $3.8 million by selling positions in that mastermind, that elite mentoring program. And that's funding our growth. And so now we can actually assess someone's face for their emotional state prior to watching a session, and again at the end of the session. And we've got all of the beta aspects of that up and running. So I'm really, really excited and proud of that. We have not had any funding to date other than what I've actually sold to real people with real lives. I look to the big heavy hitters in this space, and I know that we probably need to sell at least another $1 million to $2 million worth of this mentoring program to actually get us to maintain our momentum. We're actually spending about $50,000 a month now on paid advertising, and we're attracting around about 25,000 new users per month. So we're on fire, and I'm really, really excited about what it is that we're doing. What I would ask of you to do is share simply Positive Prime and to come and join us as a subscriber. We'd love you to become a part of our community. And I think then once you're using it and you're loving it, you'll feel more comfortable about going out and spreading the word. At the end of the day, sales means we survive. That's it.
Awesome. Well done, Kim. Well done. So to our panel members, does anybody, I guess we'll just do it in a pop fashion. Paula, Darren, Constantine, Anuraj, does anyone have anything burning that they would like to offer Kim?
I'll say something. No one else will. Well done. Obviously polished. I like your go-to-market. Well, I know it was rough, but you could tell that it's polished. I like your approach about going to market and instead of selling equity for capital. But at some point, if you're going to play with the big guns, you're going to have to do that. Because if you've got access to the right go-to-market investors, then they're going to give you access to other geographies at some point. And I know today's the ask. I'm not sure whether the ask today is for capital. I think it's for capital and other support in other ways. But I think you jumped around a little bit, and I wanted to understand how you're a blend of Ura, because that's a device, right? That's giving biofeedback or giving feedback on heart rate variability and various other things, and scrubbing it through the protocol to figure out what your readiness is, and and they're also now providing content to fall asleep faster, all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I was a little bit confused to try and stick within my 2 minutes.
Would you like me to answer to that?
Yeah. Look, I think I like the flashing of positive images. Maybe there's something in that gives neural pathways like, synapses like dopamine. But is there
serotonin, oxytocin, other neurotransmitters,
all of that?
Yes.
Which I like. I really like that. I think that's unique. I've never thought about that. But how are you using devices to measure efficacy?
At the moment, of our subscribers, we guide them through how to use their own wearable health tech to actually produce changes in and of themselves. So whether that's heart maths, heart rhythm coherence, M-Wave devices, we actually guide people through group coaching. This is what you're reading, watch a positive prime session. Now, can you actually see that you're in heart rhythm coherence? We do the same actually with demonstrating to our users with their own devices that there is a change in their brain frequencies. And so they're astounded when they find that piece of content that allows them to drop into gamma. And they're like, oh! And then of course we provide all of the coaching or the education around that helps them to understand what are the scientific underpinnings to our formula that actually cultivate those reactions.
Well,
maybe
awesome.
One day we'll get to having our own.
Oh, you don't have to. I just wanted to know the
Plug
interaction.
and play.
Yeah,
We're a license to them.
I like it. You don't have to. I guess what I'm wondering is, how do you work with those? And I think that if you can prove efficacy through my own device, then it actually is a great winner. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. Exactly. It's about measuring the biofeedback before and after, Constantine. So that's why I think the follow-up for integrating with these devices, and then also using VR as a means to provide very immersive positive priming. That's on the roadmap for Kim. And Kim, a big congratulations. I know you were on American television earlier today. I just saw your message, so well done. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Kim, Darren here. Yeah, that was a great job. I got it in 5 minutes, no problem. I think in this short period, the quickest win I would offer is, I think that I got your purpose, I got the product, I got the story. I think it would be worth, because you want to basically use your network to grow, that you can't overwork the clarity of your branding, your color, your positioning, your language, because that is your path to track it. Like a really simple, quick, easy, bootstrapped path to growth is to tidy that up. So if you get the opportunity to use your network, it's really simple to look at something and go, wow, that's a positive prime something, you immediately recognizable as being yours. Because I think that would allow you to take advantage of the traction you started getting.
Oh, thanks, Darren. That's awesome. I spent some today with our agencies that are taking care of an entirely new congruent look and feel across everything that we're doing. So that's awesome. Perfect. It gives me some reinforcement that we're
that timing is great. You've got to be instantly recognizable, and so that people relate that emotion to being you and your company.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to say again, as they have already mentioned, that I think in general, the way that you have approached your product is great, in a sense that you are not building the hardware. You are not just going to something really hard, but you're testing the methodology and the community and the way that you have worked so far in a lean way that allows you to prove it, to reach new members, and like mixing all the great great, how's it say, you know, parts of each one of those technologies that you're comparing to Aura, HeartMath, and, you know, Happify and Mind Valley, and just providing a unique experience and community, and at the same time measuring how that it brings positive primes and well-being in general to your members is, you know, I think it's a great way to get out to the market and start, you know, testing out and proving, you know, what are the parts that are important for you, and you know, like just making it and simplify for the user. So big congratulations. And I didn't know you were on American TV, but that's a great achievement. Yeah, congratulations. I also had a question about Aura, so it's already clarified.
Thank you. I hope the next time I answer that, I'll say we've raised $100 million on a $2 billion valuation. High five.
Yay.
All right, thanks, Kimbo. Great work. Let's bring Olu up. Let me find you. There we are. And I think that's working all right. I did some quick calculations. We got about 9 minutes per person if we do quick changeovers. So a little bit of extra Q&A at the end is okay. Over to you, Olu.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me now?
Gotcha, man.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, see my screen okay?
Yep, all good.
Awesome, good day. Okay, good day everyone. My name is Olu. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Life Rhythms, a digital health behavior change startup building the future of preventive health and well-being. A little background on cardiac rehabilitation. This is a medically supervised exercise, healthy lifestyle education, and counseling program designed to help improve cardiovascular health. This program is designed for patients who have undergone some kind of healthy lifestyle challenge, and this helps them improve their life. What we are doing is we've realized that a lot of people, approximately 640,000 Americans, kind of like need to go to cardiac rehabilitation, but for some reason, there's low participation and low compliance, right? For example, let's say Dave. Dave has gone through heart surgery, and recently he could not get to his centers regularly due to logistical issues. He has to drive 45 minutes one way to get to the center, and he also complained about the program not being tailored to his specific needs. Aside from that, he has to also make other trips to see his physicians and cardiologists to take periodical checkup. As a result, Dave stopped attending a session, and sadly, after 6 months, he got a relapse and passed away. Luckily for another patient, Sarah, she actually chose a cardiac center that was using our solution. As a result, she was able to use a home-based approach where many of the education, the exercise therapy and stuff were done in our home, comfort of our living room. Also, due to the fact that we are collecting data regularly on our behalf and sharing that data to our rehab specialists, they have been able to customize a program for her that enables her to achieve our goal. So why now? COVID-19, social distancing, the growth of home-based equipment, wearable devices, big data, and AI. These are the reasons why now is the time to provide the solutions for cardiac rehab patients. So we're going after a huge global market of folks who suffer from chronic illnesses, and we're narrowing down to solving people's challenges within cardiac rehab for the next 3 years. This is our competition, right? We are one of the few solutions out there that provide a holistic data aggregation in regards to using both activity data and biomarker data to help people understand their life and live healthy, balanced lifestyle. We have a version of the app currently available in the App Store, and this version of the app enables people to track all their activities and provide them with a life score at the end of the week. Our business model is simple. We charge each user $25 per user per month. And within our marketplace, anytime a user decides to work with a rehab specialist, we will make 30% commission on all transactions. This is an amazing team. Collectively, we have 40 years of experience that spans through coaching, health and wellness, data science, disease prevention, and marketplace development. Currently, we are raising a pre-seed round of about $500K. We have $100,000 in commitment, trying to reach out to 80,000 cardiac rehab patients to generate $1.1 million in 12 months. Join us in helping cardiac rehab patients live healthier lives. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Olu. Over to the panelists.
Well, I'll start.
Sure.
Thanks,
One of the things I want to say is I've seen Olu. He's been part of the community for several years right now, and I truly admire his tenacity and constance as well. He has attended several pitch events, and he has been in touch with many people in the community, and I think that's something to really congratulate you on, because this is the way you build an empire, and this is the way you connect with the people that will help you on the way. Something that I realized is that you kind of had a kind of revamp on the main target audience, right? Right now you are focused on hybrid cardiac rehabilitation, and I think it's great that you have focus on something specific and like a very specific problem that people are facing in terms of the things that they are missing in their habits and the appointments and what is actually that impacting in the users and in the people in general. So I actually have a question is what happened to make you focus on hybrid cardiac rehabilitation, and how is that flip going for you in terms of the users and the use of the app?
So before we were, it was like we were open to everyone that wanted to track and improve their lifestyle. But we realized that as we're adding more APIs, it is difficult to reach out to too many people, right? So if we focus on, now that we're focusing on cardiac rehab, the APIs that we need to aggregate data from to get the feedback that is helpful towards the patients, improving the cardiologists and the physicians, they are similar for this certain group of people. So instead of trying to shoot the wide net, it only makes sense to focus on a niche that needs the product the most. And out of everyone, cardiac people need, it's kind of like a life and death situation. A lot of people relapse when they don't live a healthy lifestyle after operations, and these people need help. So we wanted to first solve this people's challenge before going to other markets that we have identified. We have identified about eight user personas. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, great. Congratulations on this, in this switch. And I think it's great that you're now focusing on a niche. And I love seeing your improvements and your pathway in general. I know we're happy to support here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, great pitch, Olu. I'm glad you've sort of moved into a specific area from what you started with the time management and the initial thoughts. And I really admire how you've been looking at Draper and the Founders Institute and learning from so many different areas and cross-sharing that learning. I think, yeah, just the focus on the platform. So once you move from the convergent back to the more divergent thinking, how do you incorporate that bigger thinking you started off with as you sort of develop and mature the solution? But yeah, you're on the right track. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi Ollie, Darren here. Yeah, a great pitch. I got it. I see where you're at and what you're trying to do. Focusing in on that target market. I would think that in other products and other things I've seen similarly, you've got to be very specific about your traction and distribution with products like this. There's complexities like insurance and healthcare funds and benefits. And I think besides just worrying about your competition, you've got to be specific to those issues because they're different in every country and they really add to your credibility where you can address those. So I'd definitely be looking to not just take your product, but focus on your traction and distribution because I think it's always something that comes up with products like this. But that's great. Yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah, thank you very much for the feedback. Really appreciate that.
I don't have much more to add, actually. Everyone stole my thunder, but I was going to say, good pitch. I like the pivot to where you're going to. I had a look at your website. It's obviously got some of the old stuff there, too generic. Solving a burning platform problem is probably the best way to go. Obviously, all the approvals. I'm not sure what approvals you need to get to be able to certify the data and all that kind of stuff. But having been involved in some biotech companies before, I know that there's some serious regulations that need to be considered as well, obviously. I'm not sure if you covered that or if I missed it, but good delivery. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, panel members. Although just to acknowledge, I think it's probably like close to 2 a.m. in the US where you are at the moment. So thanks for making the effort to be up. Feel free to go to bed now if you wish.
Wow.
Thank you.
David,
Good night.
Linkmate, you're up, mate. Where are you? I'll just bring you to the front. Here we go. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. Hello, my name is David and I'm the founder of Linkmate. A few years ago, after my parents separated, I almost lost my father to suicide. When traditional therapies failed to fulfill his needs, I began sharing my own mental health challenges with Dad, and something really special happened. He completely opened up. Exchanging our experiences with each other made Dad feel understood and nurtured a sense of courage within him, which he used to pursue new hobbies like learning how to dance. Mental health is predominantly impacted by social and emotional issues, and people want to connect with others who share similar lived experiences. 61% of patients with mental health challenges are prescribed medication, with almost half finding only temporary relief. There's no cure for poverty and racism, and we believe that mental well-being can flourish before needing to depend on a pill. This is a social justice issue. Inspired by the story I shared earlier, I set out to develop a platform that could bring people together based on shared experiences, breeding confidence within themselves to follow their passions, address their challenges head on, and rebuild their lives. Linkmate is an app that connects you with a mate. That is a trained peer who's shared a similar lived experience as you. Mates listen, empathize with you, and can signpost you to additional services for support. They are pre-screened and trained in peer support, empathy, and social navigation, which helps to link people seeking support to community services that can further assist with their social issues. This could be anything from financial assistance or a book club to even a dancing class. Our mission is to connect people early with support that's unique to them to prevent the onset of mental health challenges. Our journey so far has seen us win 2 grants, establish partnerships globally, and launch our finished MVP, which has garnered important insights for our projects with RMIT and Academy XI. It's no surprise that the market opportunity for mental health is huge and continuing to grow. Starting with Australia, we plan on targeting 18 to 25-year-old students who make up the largest proportion of individuals with mental health challenges. To do this effectively, we are piloting our solution at RMIT and with international student bodies, as well as leveraging our affiliation with Trinity College and Melbourne Business School to provide Linkmate for students as a freemium mental wellbeing subscription service. We're also using social media platforms as a force for good to raise awareness for Linkmate in a fun and engaging way. Our unique partnership with Info Exchange enables us to make informed social referrals to a range of different services in communities close to our members, where we take 10% commission on each referral made. Linkmate complements existing providers with a preventative and proactive approach. You can vent any issues you're experiencing to a mate and take advantage of nearby social support before issues take a serious toll on your mental health. Our strengths-based methodology gives people the confidence to nurture their passions, build new friendships, and try out activities they want to learn. So, why Linkmate? The recent Royal Commission into Mental Health has called for people with a lived experience to lead the establishment of new compassionate and responsive services. What's more is that the Australian Government has been discussing the implementation of social navigation since the end of 2019. Linkmate is the first digital solution to harness the power of lived experience, empathy, and social navigation to enhance well-being, provide hands-on work experience to students studying mental health, and improve the growth of local businesses. But none of this has been possible without our dedicated team with a background in peer support, psychology, marketing, and business, all inspired by a shared lived experience of mental health challenges. We're looking for advisors, volunteers, and partnerships with like-minded organizations that care about mental health and want to create social impact together. We created Linkmate so others won't have to go through the challenges my dad did. And every day I'm grateful for his life. Surround yourself with mates who are grateful for yours. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, David. So panel members, over to you. Well done.
You nailed it. That was awesome. Well done. I definitely want to be an advisor. I love what you're working on. This is great. Well done, David. What's your revenue model?
Well, delivering it as a freemium subscription to consumers and then also to universities. We're exploring schools as well, potentially, for students undergoing distress before entering the corporate B2B market.
Right. So you need a bit of work there in the revenue model, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, no, I definitely. I want to help out there. That's it's a definitely area that I think there's still a lot of missing pieces in the whole, ecosystem, the landscape associated with that kind of event-based depression and trauma. I think we're still getting stuck, and it's obviously on the rise with COVID and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Well done. Obviously, there's pretty slick in terms of delivery. But how you make it sustainable, that's the biggest question here. You said you give 10% or you get 10%?
We take 10% on every social referral made. So it could be to like a cooking class or like local.
On those things.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Right. But not the lifelines or anything like that? No.
Are you referring to if we were to like refer high-risk users to?
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't take.
Okay. Thank you. We'll take it offline.
Easy. Thanks, Constantine.
Does anybody else have any feedback? It's okay if you don't. Not everybody has
quickly, well done, David. I mean, excellent pitch. And again, using the personas and bringing that personal story in adds so much to the passion and the flow of your presentation. And I think we discussed this before, just your scale up opportunity. And I think I totally agree with what Con said earlier, really trying to expand and look at that next level scale up with other universities and the broader level. And I think Con would be a great advisor to guide you also on this. Well done.
Wonderful. No, thank you, Anuraj.
Yeah, hi David, Darren here. Yeah, I liked it too. Yeah, I got it. I'm glad. I can really see the effort you've put into both your own passion and connection to the subject, but also the way that is congruent with the way, your images, the flow of your deck, everything sort of feels like you've got it together. I agree. I was looking for the link between the 18 to 25-year-olds, the students, into what next, into what next, into what next. So, same thing. So I think that there's a common theme because it's got so much potential. We can see clearly what you are and what you're trying to do. And then we just want to see where it goes. So I think, that's the only feedback I'd have.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Darren.
Well, I just want to say, I think that, the same as Konstantin and everyone, I think this is a great job all in all. So I understand the story on why you started. And, I guess that most of us who are in transformative tech are starting with a why. And it's something that is tied to our own personal story and our beloved ones. So, just it really helped me hooked with your story. This is very important. And also what I see is that you have a great team and it's very there's a sort of variety in terms of your experiences, which also great, it makes this, this project a very solid project in several areas. And finally, I want to congratulate you on putting the social aspect to mental health. And I truly believe that, mental health is so wide and open, and there is so many ways in which we can work on that and get support from that. Doesn't necessarily have to come through therapy, even though it's important, but just by having a strong social network will really move the needle towards, from prevention to treatment. So I also think it's a great way to help people. So there's nothing else I can say, but congratulations.
I really appreciate that, Paula. Thanks so much.
Thanks, panel. Thanks, David. Well done, mate. So up next we have Margaret and Lewis from Cordy Kids. Just find you. Here we go. And I'm just going to bring up Lewis as well, because I believe he's also presenting.
Marga, you're muted. No, you're muted.
There you go. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
We can.
Okay, we have a video on here. I hope it will work. Okay, I'm an occupational therapist. My name is Marga. I've seen children who are uncoordinated, struggling with ordinary tasks, and I wanted to help because parents cannot do all the homework at home. So we offer online exercise courses that improve competence in learning and in sport. More children than ever are diagnosed with disorders. Therapy is time-consuming and expensive. In the US alone, 17.8% of children are diagnosed. That means 1 in 6 children have problems, and this figure is continuing to rise. More children than ever are diagnosed, and this is representative of most countries in the world. Our online courses are limited. So this is the video that I want. Yeah, there you go. So you can watch this. So these are developmentally sequenced exercises. It's carbon neutral. So why now? Because of COVID-19, telehealth sessions are so much more used and important. Digital courses are popular. Therapy is very expensive. It's time consuming. Many therapists have long waiting lists for up to 2 years, and referrals are increasing all the time.
So the countries that we're targeting at the moment for our total accessible market is the US, UK, Australia, and Canada. Total population of 461 million people. Children under 15 years is about 83 million. Our serviceable available market, about 10%, and of that, the serviceable obtainable market is about 5% of those numbers.
So our competition is just about zero. There aren't any other courses that have the exercises that we have and the developmentally sequenced exercises that is in a good structured presentation. Our courses are home courses that can be done at home, preschool courses and classroom courses. All of them have the similar features and functionalities. All of them are only videos and the kids follow it without any preparation. It's built on sound principles of neurodevelopment and sensory integration therapy.
So our business model, as you can see on the screen, is a subscription model for the home course, the preschool courses, the classroom courses, and then we also have a store with a number of lectures and toolkits on it.
And this is our team. We work from 4 continents over the world. It's a challenge, but it's very exciting as well, and lots of interesting input from everybody.
Now, the traction, we are currently, our programs are used in 11 countries. And then our ask is at the stage for a 20% share, a $1.5 million contribution. And that is how the money will be spent on the first year. You'll see there's a carryover of $185,000 as well going into the second year. Now, the financials look like this. The forecast, 2022, there's a lot of development that will take place further. An expenditure and income of 1.1 million, expenditure of 1.3 million, a net loss of $162,000, and we have that carryover of 185. But then in 2023, you'll see the follow-on of the subscription models kicking in, and gives an earning before interest and tax of 5.5 million.
Okay, this is our contact details. And thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time.
Well done, gang. Over to you, panelists.
I'm happy to go. It's Darren here. Thanks, Margaret and Lewis. I got it. That's clear message, clearly spoken. I get the product and where it's gone. I think that probably my only feedback again just goes to traction with a medical-based product. I know in the last couple of slides there was some detail around traction, but it's always that's always the complexity of a product like this. I mean, everything else was clear, so I could see where you were trying to go and where you need to go. That's the positives. Understanding how you're going to get that 5% market share, how you're going to get to that 415,000 users is your first goal. Yeah, that's the bit that I would have liked to just have seen more details. So I think focusing on that to complement the rest of your message would be a good effort. Thanks for your, but I got it. Thanks for your pitch. It was great.
Good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, great pitch. Good problem to solve. Would it have been better if you could also quantify the problem that's being solved? So what is the current alternative? And I just put a number there. That's a big, hairy, audacious number. Why wouldn't you go to market also BOTs to provide, like, why wouldn't they want, wouldn't they be a persona? So you got a B2B2C opportunity?
Yep, we have that. We have that in place. We're not focusing on that at the moment so much in our marketing, but we have about 6 occupational therapy private practices who are using our products at a regular basis.
And where are they based?
So 3 in Brisbane, 1 in Melbourne, 1 in Seattle in US, and 1 in South Carolina.
Okay.
So it's actually 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they use it in their therapy sessions, they use it in telehealth, and they use it as homework for them. They buy in as a B2B. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So that's another option.
Good response.
It's just that we only had 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And then the other thing is just to consider, like, what are the, if you're looking to raise 1.5 mil, what are the competitor comparables? Like, where have there been acquisitions of these kind of businesses in the past? And can you point to valuation uplifts that shows that an investor kind of goes, oh, if I put 1.5 in now and these guys hit a target of another 5 times increase in revenue, that it would be worth X based on what others have bought these type of companies for. That strengthens the ask.
Mm-hmm.
And having those in there, so doing the research on comparable acquisitions, why this would be, and who you think might be an acquirer. Yeah. But otherwise, great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll just say, yeah, I've really seen you evolve the presentation to such a big, more confident version, and everything that you've been working on, it's been really amazing. And maybe just to clarify, I think it's the valuation you mean at 1.5 million, not the ask of the investment, right? Which is what you meant there. And it's 20% of that is what you're you know, looking for. Yeah,
that's not how I understood it. I thought it's a $1.5 million raise on a valuation of.
That's right.
Oh,
1.5 is 20%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry. Yeah, maybe.
And it's not a contribution. They call it a contribution. Call it an investment.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that better wording there maybe. But
okay.
Yeah, no,
sorry for that.
Yeah, that's right. But I know you do have a more detailed version, which is the IM that you could obviously share also if anybody else is interested, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes.
Well, I don't have specific questions, and also I know we are kind of delayed. I'm not sure, but I see there are some people in the line. But Marga and Luis, congratulations. I also think it's a great pitch. And, you know, if I kind of see the timeline that we have followed, this one has a very clear pathway. And you know, I think that, you know, besides the product, which I believe is a great solution for an important problem, I think it's very clear what you are, where you are at and what you are expecting from the crowd. So I think it's you know, a good point. And besides that, just a great job and great pitch as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Well done, Lewis. Well done, Marga. All right, so let's bring up Paul. Where are you, mate? There you are.
Hey.
All right, over to you, mate.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Nice to meet you all. Okay, I'm Paul Warren. I'm the founder of Sensor Guided Living. Via a camera and artificial intelligence, SGL creates interactive games based on medically prescribed and sporting movements. While I've been validating SGL for a number of years, it was only after injuring myself that I realized prescribed exercises and movements were left unmonitored in the home. While I was in pain, I generally didn't do these exercises very well, and quite often I didn't do them at all. This poor compliance really had severe adverse effects on my recovery.
Well, do you have your slides, mate? We can't see them.
Hang on, mate. Let me have a little look here. Have a little look. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought I hit that one. How's that?
Not yet.
Is it not working? Sherry. You got it?
Yep, it's good now.
All right, sorry.
So you want to take it from the top?
I can do that. I've just got to, how do I do this?
Take it from the problem.
I just can't hit. I can't hit play. The button up the top.
It's down the bottom where
Yeah.
next to the Zoom. There's
Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, from the problem. Okay, so I got, while I was in pain, these exercises. I generally didn't perform them very well at all, and quite often I didn't do them. The poor compliance had severe adverse effects on my recovery, and on a global scale, this is costing healthcare billions. I found doing exercises quite boring, and during the time of greatest need, the care was limited and it was confusing and restricted to those face-to-face consultations. The solution was to provide a way for professionals to monitor movements in the home, especially now since COVID, or the workplace or school. We needed it so professionals knew that I was performing these exercises properly, or if I was doing them at all. It needed to be flexible, so if I was struggling with programs, they could be adjusted online quickly rather than at the next consultation. And if they made them creative, like if they created interactive games to break the boring 1, 2, 3, 4 routines most of us adhere to now, I probably would have done a few more of them. And of course, it needs to be affordable for everybody. Leading the team is myself and my supporting partner, Emmy Munro. We have strong connections into the Asian sector. Wilkie Ramirez is a master in artificial intelligence, and David Rochelle is the 2019 Medical Fitness Professional of the Year. We're currently working with the Medical Fitness Association leadership team to build a solution for their practitioners, and they will be one of our first customers. The Onyx Group is our technical lead, and they will be assisting in building out our technical team. And Anuraj is a welcome member to our advisory board. There are many revenue streams on our go-to-market strategy, but we're going to stick with just 4. So we're going to start with the emerging trillion-dollar medical fitness. We're going to slide sideways into the over 65s, the sports and fitness professionals. So that includes physiotherapists, chiropractors, personal trainers, doctors, surgeons, and so on. And then the fitness club and gyms. We're a subscription model with many B2B and B2C opportunities, and we'll move into big data. Our obtainable market conversion rates are quite low at 10% for medical fitness, 0.5% for the over 65s in the professional fitness and professional industry. But the one that excites me is the Nintendo Wii Fit. They're a similar interactive solution that sold 23 million consoles and was considered quite a luxury item. If we convert just 1% of those people at an affordable $15 a month, if we take away our cost of consumer acquisition, we're still making $3 million a day. And think of the good that we could do with that. Some of our competitors, the console games, Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation, or the interactive solutions like Tonal, Mirror, and Peloton. They're all very successful companies in their own right. They only feather their own nest, and they don't bring any new revenue streams into the health and wellness industry. Our competitive advantage, medically based content from industry elite and exceptional, will deliver trust and also customer retention. SGL provides greater levels of care and new revenue streams to an expanding market. We have 2 advanced MVPs and have established partnerships with the global network, and our interactive games have been validated by our more expensive competitors, and SGL relies on no third parties. We're software as a service, we are serverless, and our artificial intelligence incorporates machine learning, computer vision, neural networks, and cloud computing. We're asking for 300,000 for 15% equity and a possible 550,000 as we move into the interactive game sector for 10%. 10-time return on investment in 4 years, with the opportunity made available by servicing the medical, fitness, and age sectors, with potential investors Lululemon, Fitness and Lifestyle Group, mobile manufacturers as we dive into the 5G, and Under Armour, who paid $475 million for the free fitness app, MyFitnessPal. We've got a 6-month to market plan to create our medical exercise library for the medical and fitness industries. We're going to integrate that into the age sector, and we're planning on releasing initially in Australia and the US. In the following 6 months, we're going to move into other parts of the world and create 6 interactive sports-based games. I thank you for your time. Again, my name is Paul Warren, and welcome to Sensor Guided Living. Any questions?
Well done, Paul. Over to you, panel.
It's obvious you know your stuff. Well done. Good pitch. The deck needs a bit of polish. Yeah, felt like I was in the 90s. Sorry.
Thanks, I liked it.
I know you can. I know you can do better than that. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
How does the tech work? It's probably another time. But I mean, obviously, I'm into all the VR stuff and the Sony PlayStation, all that kind of, you know, the whole VR setup there. But there must be just using a camera, or is there a specific sensor camera device on your phone or something?
We're using standard devices. It's a progressive web application. So we're using either just a camera through a mobile device, through a computer, and we've also got it working through a Raspberry Pi and just a high def camera, depending on what you want to, how accurate we want it. We're still in the early stages of testing with that in regards to accuracy, and going down the medical fitness path, we really need it to be spot on to measure the body, the angles of the body. So we're still in early stages with you know, exactly with the Raspberry Pi, it's spot on, but moving into 5G with the processing power and cameras, that's where our development comes in as we move forward.
Surely there's a model where the insurance companies would want to pay for a lot of this, right?
We're in discussions with Work Cover at the moment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
and of course in America as well, going down the medically based side of things. United Healthcare, David Rochelle, my team member, has been the first company over there to be accredited by United Health for rebated insurance. So that's why we're going down. If you notice my website, it's all worded up to get rebated through the health system.
And how do you protect your IP? Do you have any patents?
No, we don't have any patents. I own the technology at the moment. Moving forward, I'm the struggling entrepreneur. It's something that we have to look at down the track.
Secret sauce for now.
Absolutely.
But well done otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Darren here. Yeah, clear message. I get where you're at and got what you're doing. Same thing, in 5 minutes, I didn't understand the tech either, but that's fine. Leave them wondering, you know, that's, I think, yeah, I wanted to understand distribution and traction as well, just because, yeah, I wanted to understand what's in it for the health professional. I found myself sort of thinking about that and what role they play in supporting you, and, you know, but yeah, no, I can clearly see what your product's going to be and how you compete. I can imagine the market. So all those fundamentals are there. I think, yeah, it's a great start. I think inevitably the way you get traction through the health professionals, insurance, all those things that you'll end up having to deal with is feels like the next stage, but, you know, really clear to this point.
Yeah, no, taking it into the homes, extending the offering from the practitioners, from the face-to-face into the home to extend the consultations. I guess I could have explained that a little bit better, but I got overwhelmed with the animations.
Yeah. No, it always, you know, I feel like that third party sort them selling for you. I mean, you know, I don't recall the statistics, but it's an incredible amount of those services are SMEs, and they're always looking for revenue sources, particularly in this environment. And yeah, so I just found myself wondering about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of interest in there, but thank you, Darren.
Okay, I'll just say quickly, yeah, really well done, Paul. I mean, great flow again. And I think just focusing on that accessibility and affordability, which was highlighted, I think that'll be really cool to integrate. But I think there's a massive opportunity. And I've just been picking up on more GPT-3 and J. And
I think first and foremost, we have to concede that we're dealing with...
Oh, that's not me, is it?
That's all right.
Somebody click the link.
Yeah, well done. I'll let Paula give her comments.
Thanks, Anuraj.
Cheers, man.
Well, congratulations, Paul. I was also checking on your website while you were speaking, and there's something that kind of captured my attention a little bit, and is you comparing to other game companies or video game companies like Nintendo and some others. And I thought that it would be really, really interesting for me. And, you know, this is my understanding on the, you know, pause and, you know, like fitness training apps, but I would love to see some gaming activities here. So something that is actually as well fun, and it's not only, you know, like your posture and things like that, but also something that you would enjoy. And I don't know if that's something you thought about already, or if not, then I would be very interested in something like that.
Have a look at our video. Yeah, we've got two MVPs. One's the detection one, and the other one's a game. Where we're playing in a game.
Great.
Yeah, so we're just pioneering that one at the time being, but that's where I started. I started with the games. I fell in love with the games, and everyone said, no, you got to pull it back. You've got to pull it back. And so we had to get some shoulders before we came up against the big guys, and which is why we went down the medical path.
Makes total sense. But I think that that's a great path, and I love to see how it evolves.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Have you thought about licensing this to the game platforms?
No. At the moment, Constantine, I'm still building out the team. We've only just got the tech available because it's only really cutting edge sort of stuff. So we only had to wait till the last part of last year to get it to work properly. So we're still pretty light on the team. So to make those sort of decisions, I really need to put some cool people around me like Anuraj, get into some deep discussions to see how that pans out, because that's a group discussion, not something I'm going to make by myself.
Okay, cool.
All right, well done, Paul. Yep, great stuff, man. So next we have Dave from My Resolve. Where are you, Dave?
Hi there, can you see me?
Hey, man.
Yep, okay,
All
so
right.
I'm just gonna
Over to you, man.
share my screen. Okay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay, so firstly, I just wanted to say that recently I saw my grandfather, and he's 94, and as always, he will ask me, so what are you up to lately? And yeah, so I said to him, so I'm building a virtual clinic to equip psychologists with an arsenal of digital resources that can be used to create amazing outcomes for their clients. I said, that sounds good. So I was pleased. And I've been very inspired with this project. I've been working on it for a few years now, and being a psychologist myself from My Resolve in Sydney. Yeah, I use the platform myself that I've created, the virtual clinic, and I've noticed that it's enhanced my own practice. And so we did a lot of research to see if it's the same for other therapists and psychologists. And what we found is that a third of their time is spent on admin and stuff that isn't therapy, basically. And we also found a lot of therapists are uncomfortable using technology. And further to that, they're not using the technology that they have to enhance their therapy. It's more just for admin and things like that. And so we noticed that there is a big opportunity in our obtainable market with, and we're particularly targeting psychologists with their own practices. what we've researched. Oops. And so we believe the solution needs to reduce admin time for psychologists so they can do what they love, and also enable them to provide a more successful solution for their clients, regardless of their location, especially with COVID and online stuff, and using algorithms and AI and other tools they can enhance their therapy through the platform. We currently have quite a simple MVP, which allows therapists to be linked up with their patients or customers. We have 15 therapists in the network. We have 3 referring online doctors. And we have sort of a matching marketplace where psychologists can use tools and allocate them to their clients and communicate with them securely, video, things like that. And so it will reduce psychologists' workload. It'll increase the frequency they can see their clients. It'll reduce overheads, improve outcomes, enhance reputation, and also, and probably quite importantly, increase revenue. And our business model is to take a percentage from every session that is done on the platform. And we then have a subscription model for psychologists to upgrade their capabilities in what they can use with their clients. So we've done some analysis with some other similar companies like Galaxy, Clinico, and iTherapy, and how we are unique is that we provide a customizable option, and we get referrals for the psychologists. So we link clients with psychologists. So we've researched a lot of psychologists. We run a regular online network group. We have a platform that we're trialing and using, and yeah, we've done some clinical articles. As I mentioned, the traction before, and our strategy is to keep building our network, provide sales presentations, and collaborate with other online service providers like doctors, online doctors. So we have a team. I don't know much about technology, so I got someone to help me with that, and yeah, making it usable, because I don't know much about that either. I just do the therapy and have the ideas. So yeah, we want to bring new therapists on. We're looking for investment to make it bigger, and we want to collaborate with more online service providers to see what possibilities there. And so what's next? It'd be great to hear from you, and I can leave my details in the chat. So thanks for your time.
Thanks, Dave. Over to you, panel.
Thank you, Dave. Nice to meet you. I was impressed at the beginning, initially, because I think the problem that you are trying to solve is a big problem. And one of the things that I keep saying in Transformative Tech is we need to reach out to more therapists, because they are, uncomfortable with technologies, and some of them don't even know what are the options they have available for them. So I think it's, I believe there is a huge opportunity there. But then in the way, I got lost a little bit about the kind of solution that it is, and what is the, the resources that you provide for them, and how that helps with the, the kind of lack of knowledge and use of technologies for therapy. So I assume, but maybe that was on my end that I missed it, is that, admin kind of resources, it's about, their next appointments and then the payments, or it's more about, how to provide, some resources for their clients. I kind of got lost there, so I would like if you could clarify that a bit.
Yeah, sorry, I should have cleared that up. So a lot of the competitors, they are more like practice management software, which is around reducing admin. We have basic functionality for that, so you can book appointments and do invoicing and things like that, and reports. But my original inspiration was more around the therapy. How can you create courses? How can you create content that's going to be useful and enhance the therapy? So it's both. It's both of those things, if that makes sense. So there's functionality to create tools and allocate it to your client. Yep.
Got it. Okay, so it's like a platform that allows therapists to, you know, to kind of use technology in the way that serves them the most, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. To integrate it with their face-to-face stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
So
great.
you,
Okay, cool.
so you would
Yeah,
send homework kind of thing in between sessions and things like that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, that's clear for me. Thank you for clarifying. And yeah, and it's great that you yourself are a therapist, so it, you know, it brings some insights to your amazing team that can develop the solutions that you need and you find in your day-to-day basis, and that you are of course researching. So yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for sure. I am a psychologist, but I don't practice, but I know that these problems exist. So so that's why I think you're in the good way, and I just let the experts speak about the business and other questions. But thank you for your presentation, Dave.
Thank you.
Hi, Dave. Darren here.
Hi, Darren. How you going?
Well, thanks. Yeah, no, I got that. I get the solution. I got all the model. So that was all clear. I get how you relate to the issue. You know, I think probably like Paul, I got a little bit lost as well. I was thinking maybe like a case study, or maybe even your own practice would pull it all together, maybe a use case or a case study, because I wanted to understand what you were really saving the person. So I understood what your sort of customer lifetime value might end up, how sticky were your customers going to be, like the therapists that took on your product. So yeah, I think everything was clear to that point, but you know, not specifically knowing the industry or how a practice runs, I wanted that next level of detail. So maybe something like that might be a simple way for you to pull it together, because that would directly lead into your traction, into your financial multiples, which is where any investors gonna want to go next. So maybe use that network and your own experience to sort of pull that together a bit tighter. But yeah, it was clear where you were going. I could see what you're doing. We just sort of needed the numbers. I get that's tough in 5 minutes, but yeah, that was where I went. Thanks.
Okay. Do you mean by that like a video of how it works? Or...
No, I think maybe just the financial model, right? In the end, the numbers, you know, what do you do for the profitability of a practice on a monthly basis, and try and find a way, like maybe a use case, somebody who's already using the product, something like that. Because an example, and then you basically, that gives some perspective for those who are, you know, outside the industry trying to evaluate what value you offer.
Okay. You mean in terms of like a subscription and the percentage based things like that? Yeah.
What does it look like for them? Yeah. What does it look like for your customer?
Okay. Yep. Cool. Thank you for that.
So there's a section of your homepage that actually, if there was in your slide, it would have really helped me, because I know that you talked about back end, you know, back office administration, but you've got down the bottom of your homepage things like smart calendar, private messaging, communication, digital assessments, course creation, trip, you know, that kind of stuff. Or I would have gone, oh, I get it now. So yes, there's back office automation and admin and invoicing, all that kind of stuff. But I think you're wanting it to be more of an aid to the therapist as well, not just from an admin perspective.
Yeah.
But also being able to send a video about certain content that you may have told me about as a therapist about cognitive behavior therapy, and you send me resources that are readily available, and I'm not just sending stuff off YouTube, stuff like that. Is that what you were? Because I wanted to see more about the how behind your solution.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm jumping to conclusions. You know, we're all jumping to conclusions on what it is, and you can see through the advisors trying to shape the answer for you. When that happens, it means that you didn't nail it for us, and that's okay. When you're in the weeds, you don't really, it's easy to lose perspective. But from a beginner's mind, from this side, looking back in from an investor-centered lens, we want to know, and that, so the how, and if it's a little video or something, that's great. But that then helps what Darren was saying, which was what is the economic benefit to the practice of the app at a nuts and bolts level, and how will that relate to a longer than 12 months lifetime value? So if it's a 3-year lifetime value, then, you know, then that's great, because that means you keep them on the subscription much longer, it's stickier, less attrition, all that kind of stuff. But otherwise, for me, a little bit too relaxed on your delivery. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
my personality.
But it's okay. It's just that's my personality too, to want someone to be a bit more direct when they're pitching. But otherwise, obviously, you know your stuff, and it's definitely an area that's needed, because I think therapists just want to do therapy; they don't want to do anything else.
And yeah, I was inspired to make it all about therapy and how you can improve therapy. But yeah, as research, people also want to reduce the admin, so include that in there somewhere. So yeah.
No, Dave, I think you relate to the pain point. So definitely I've seen you improve for sure, and that's very valuable feedback we just received there. And what Paolo said earlier also, very much as a psychologist and trying to say what is the true benefits as content delivery and the operational management tool, just highlighting those points that what Darren and Constantine said. So yeah, well done. Otherwise.
Thanks, panel. And thanks, Dave. I think this is Dave's first time actually pitching, if I'm correct, Dave, in putting together a pitch. And so this program, the founder program that we have, there's no sort of like people need to be at this stage. Really, as part of Transformative Technologies, we really want to encourage new people into this sector to create things that matter. So we've got people at the ideation stage. There's like 20 people in the program. We've got 9 pitches tonight. And some of these are, first time pitching, including myself. So I'm just saying this now ahead of my pitch so that you can understand where I'm coming from. But I just want to acknowledge those people that are pitching the first time, how challenging it is. And it is really hard when, like Constantine said, when you're in it, it's hard to actually to see what needs to be said, and somebody else can just look at it and go, oh, wow, this, and this. So that's why these events are so valuable, because you get some reflection back onto you, and it's really worth listening to what people are saying, taking the feedback on board, and then implementing it. So it's invaluable. So thanks, guys. We've got Cara up next with minimal viable data. We've got 3 pitches left. We're a little behind time. I think we're going to probably go about 10 minutes over. Hope that's okay. But I feel like the feedback that our panel has been giving to our founders has been invaluable, and really it's that when integrated, it's going to help change things. So I appreciate everybody that's hanging in there and participating and watching. Over to you, Cara.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Cara Burns, and I am the co-founder of Minimum Viable Data. So Troy Haynes and I see a world where everybody has access to validated digital health solutions to reach their human potential. And Minimum Viable Data supports that by helping wellness founders develop the evidence that gets them customers and investors. So in Australia right now, 21% of our population, of our friends and of our family are experiencing anxiety, and a quarter to a third are experiencing depression. And those figures have increased by 100% since COVID began. The Lancet released a report in 2018 saying that by 2030, mental illness and for mental health is going to cost us $6 trillion globally every single year. However, from every crisis, there comes an opportunity. Governments now know that for every dollar that they invest in mental health and wellness, they'll get a $5 return in productivity. And founders also know that supporting people to have improved mental health and wellness is a great opportunity, with 350,000 digital health apps available to us to download onto smartphones, with about 90,000 of those being uploaded in 2020 alone. So given the great digital health revolution, there are some challenges. So we see that the majority of digital health products don't actually have any evidence to prove that they work, especially those that are going directly to consumers. And for founders in the wellness space, there's little practical advice around validation because you're not regulated by the TGA or the FDA. And also, if you're not a researcher and academic like myself, it's really, really hard to understand how you get a clinical trial or how you get a trial and how to develop the data that shows that your product works. So our solution is minimum viable data, which is a coaching method and a data acquisition framework that allows founders to gather data at each stage of their growth, really to seek customers and investors. So the minimum viable data framework and coaching supports founders by giving them monthly information, coaching, education sessions with fortnightly accountability catch-ups. We use the framework that I'll show you in a moment that provides founders with a very structured way to collect data, and the advice we give them feeds into allowing them to progress through that framework. And because we've got a framework, it allows transparency in reporting. So founders can see how far they've come and how the coaching has been able to support their business. So this is the framework that has been developed. It's based on current literature as well as latest industry knowledge. And you can see that there are a number of stages all the way through from problem statement to enterprise. And we can take founders through those stages. We try to focus on two main areas of validity, that is product and market validity. And by doing that, we provide a data acquisition process for Wellbeing businesses. Now, this framework is available to anyone to use, and you can see at the bottom in the yellow bar, we provide lots of resources. So there's no need for founders to worry about having resources that are out there. But should wellness founders want to join us and be supported to fast track their evidence, we've got a revenue model that recognizes that all founders are at different stages and that you pay per month based on the stage that you're at. The good thing about paying per month is if you're not seeing the returns that you expect, you then can choose another pathway to support you. We have a number of competitors, direct competitors in the Australian landscape. However, we've found that most of these are working in the clinical implementation or the clinical space, and they're heavily working in the medical device space. So we really want to be known as the consulting company that works specifically in the consumer market, in the wellness market for digital health products. The other thing about all these competitors is that they all work within Australia and they support Australian founders, where we can actually reach a global market. So the market is massive. There was $6.1 and $7.2 billion spent on digital health or invested in digital health in Q1 and Q2 in the US. And the market is projected to be $312 billion by 2027. If we just were able to acquire even 50 customers of the 350,000 that are out there, we think we can bring in $33,000 a month in revenue. So any kind of consultancy needs an expert team to lead it. So we've got myself and Troy Haynes, product and validation specialist, product and market validation specialist, and a range of other consultants who work with us to support this initiative. In the short time we've been running, we've managed to get $10,000 from the government to support the development of the framework. We've run the NVD through 3 accelerators, showing 55 founders, and 12% of them have said that it was good for them, with 85% of those saying it was highly relevant, giving us a 4.3 net promoter score. And here's just some of the responses from the people who have seen the framework so far. We're seeing success, and we look forward to working with founders in the future to help them on their journey. So our ask is, hey, wellness founders, how do you know your product actually works? If you want to find out, you can join us. We've got a Transformative Tech global program that we're running, but spaces are limited. And if you're interested in the concept and want to be part of our network, this is going to require a partnership. So just contact us after the pitch. Thank you.
Thanks, Cara. Over to the panel. You did awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, I'm not going to say too much. We have already been speaking about that, and also I think I'm a little bit biased, and I'm in the testimonial page. But I saw the website. I think that there is a great evolution on the, from the initial framework to now the way that, it's, coming up into a business model for you guys. So I think this is amazing. I'm so happy for that. And again, I'm excited for our collaboration, and I encourage everyone to check out the website, and we'll be launching a program soon. So this is a kind of a promotion opportunity. So I will just let the panel speak and give some feedback on your pitch, Cara. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, good pitch. I like what you're trying to do. I think it's really very valuable, because there is a big rush towards startups in this space, and I don't think they know how to take a scientific approach, an objective scientific approach, objective inverted commas, to validate their claims. There's a lot of, this year's seen so many devices come out. Being a biohacker myself, I've seen them a lot. I think there might be another way to skin this cat. If you own the customer, like if you've got a big network of customers who want to, it's not a massive market, but it is growing, but, biohackers who want to trial devices, whatever it might be, or get access to early stage information around GSR, and various other things. And if you own the database, then you become less of an open source spreadsheet of checklist, and more you're doing more, like you've got the biggest database of consumers in this quadrant. All of a sudden you've got monopolistic powers, right? And it's good for everyone, because then you're basically building a network, you're building a community. And I think this would be this. That's now why I know why Troy's in this with you, because he mentioned it to me when we first connected. I like the space. I think the space needs a lot of. I'd like to help out in some way. Let's have another conversation. I think the pitch is pretty clear. Obviously, it's quite early, but I think it's got to be more than just a services business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we agree with that. And there's a few things. There's a few different ways to go with it. Clearly, a data acquisition strategy lends itself to also having a place where data can be stored and pulled and aggregated. And I think there's some really strong stuff in that. And the other thing is that if we really want to scale through Trans-Tech, the validation of wellness technology, it's not just going to be Troy and I. There's going to be heaps of us doing this as well. And I think there's something really cool about the transparency that we can get around showing that consultants work. I feel like there's a lot of consultants out there that never really can demonstrate where the money goes. And I feel like there's an opportunity to show real transparency around that. So there's a few different ways, but then I'd love to have the conversation with you.
Well, you could set the standard.
Yeah, and I think that there's technology that allows us to make it transparent as well.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. Good pitch there. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. I get that it feels early, but I get where it's going and the structure it's trying to apply. I agree with Con. It's like early days of having a sector that, you know, where you've got the tiger by the tail, and the ability to build that structure and framework and guidance and become the hub of that community is, I think, you know, good timing. I agree. It feels like there's a data warehouse play somewhere in this that will evolve and probably pop up over time. But yeah, I see what you're going, where it goes. You know, love to understand how it develops as it gets as it progresses a bit further, and you carve out a space for yourself. Because I think, you know, to be the facilitator of that process in the Australian market is a nice position to take up early.
Thank you for the feedback, Darren. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Cara,
Con.
really good pitch.
Thanks,
I think well done. And I think it's a great you know, bridge between, as we talked about, creating that MVP into an MLP, or the most lovable product. And I think MVD can solve a lot of that issues we've been talking about. So, and also I just want to acknowledge that it's been a great to have MVD being used within the 20+ startups we have here, because they are so diverse, like you know, Troy was saying earlier. So I think it's been a great test bed to start evolving it, and you've really come a long way. So well done.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks to Troy. Thanks to Anuraj. Thanks to everybody. And thanks to all the other founders. You're all incredible. And I get inspired every time I hear you guys, every meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Cara. Yeah, we also see that there's an opportunity to help support founders with connections into universities, doing the research, raising capital as well. So it can be like a hub, like a full consultancy kind of model as well. Data warehouse sounds exciting. We're looking at an integrated platform, like a platform where we can host it. It's early days. All right, so, but without further ado, let's bring up Peter Thompson.
Right, thanks guys. There's a lot to go through, but it's going to be exciting. So my name's Peter Thompson. I'm the founder and chief experience officer at Calmtech Research Industries, and today I'm very excited to present to you Kyma. Oh, let me jump to slide. One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. And there's no doubt that listening to music can instantly put you in a good mood. But scientists are now discovering that music can obviously do quite a lot more than that. Our mission is to balance our surrounding environments to create elevated states of wellness. Our purpose, we craft and develop empathetic wellness technology and hardware using AI and biometric data, industrial design, sound and light frequencies, mindfulness training, and holographic audio. So what's the opportunity? Wellness is one of the world's fastest growing market segments. Affluent consumers are willing to pay a premium for wellness solutions, and driven by millennials, social media and online retail, luxury wellness brands are growing globally. So what's the problem? We have so much biometric data being collected by our wearables such as Apple Fit Watch and Fitbit, but they offer limited, immediately actionable instructions to enable a healthy outcome. Consumers are expected to do this part themselves. So what's the solution? A product so desirable that you simply must have it. A product that responds to your unique biometrics to create sound and light environments shaped by your body's needs. And a product that helps you distress from a busy workday or wake up with a feeling of purposeful energy. A product that, whether expert or newbie, trains you to be more mindful. So why now? Kyma is set to redefine the wearables audio and wellness industry by combining three explosive market sectors: wearable biometric sensor technology, personal audio, and wellness. The market. Total available market is $1.9 trillion. The service addressable market is 5.2 billion people, and our service obtainable market is 540 million. So the product opportunity space for Kyma. Kyma has wide frequency range, biometric feedback, an app, and it's a high-end luxury product. These are our competitors. So what is Kyma? Kyma is luxurious and timeless. Using high-grade materials etched with sacred geometry, frosted glass and Scandinavian felt, Kyma will redefine the luxury market for connected home audio. Feel the sound, experience the light. Small but mighty, boasting a wide frequency range of 10 Hz to 20 kHz, Kyma is a powerful omnidirectional studio quality speaker. Kyma uses patented DAS or reality technology, creating a true point source with pure diffusion, creating a holographic, extra-dimensional living sound experience. Kyma emits lights through 16 million hues, providing many therapeutic health benefits, including circadian rhythm treatment, sleep disorders. Connected wellness. Simply connect your smartwatch and let Kyma do the rest. Kyma monitors your biometrics in the moment, emitting sound and light frequencies to balance your environment and calm your soul. Kyma learns about you as you go about your day, creating perfect sound and light balance to help you feel great. Connected mindfulness. Kyma suggests when it's time for you to take a breath. With curated mindfulness meditations, Kyma teaches you to improve the practice as you control its light and sound through your biometrics. The benefits: boost your resilience, improve your heart rate variability, calm your nerves, improve your sleep, and reduce the effects of stress. So who are our customers? Sound creators, holistic wellness practitioners and providers, and conscious health and wellness consumers. Our pricing strategy: Kyma speaker will be $1,000. We do tiered pricing with app monthly subscriptions and dynamic pricing for in-app purchases, with future pricing with brand partnerships. The team: myself, Joseph Mark, Venture Studio, Clandestine Group, product partner, and Vastigo or Reality is our audio partner. On our advisory board, we have Justin Collins, APAC Operations Director at EA Games, Anuraj Gambhir, Innovation Catalyst, and Mark Cohen, Entrepreneur, Regiment Group Board Member. Year one, approximate use of proceeds, we ask $1.5 million. Year one, approximate use of proceeds, 900,000 development, 300,000 staff, 40,000 property and equipment, 125,000 sales and marketing, 110,000 administration, and 15,000 software and tools. Net profit year one, minus 1 million. Year two, positive 3,830,000, and year three, 17,439,000. We're excited by the market opportunity. We're passionate about our product, and we know that with the right investment partners, we can redefine the space for connected audio experiences. Thank you very much.
Great stuff, Peter. It's great to see how you've refined that since I've seen it last. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Over to the panel.
G'day, Peter. Darren here. How you going?
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm well. I'm well.
Good.
I got to state my bias. Peter and I have been talking for a while. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we know and love the product and understand where it's at. It's different and carving out a niche for its own. I agree with Troy, you know, even since we last spoke, that's come a long way, and that, yeah, the clarity of that and where it's got to is great, right? So, yeah, I think it's new and different, creating its own space. And yeah, that's what's so great about it. But also as an investor, what's difficult about it is understanding how the combination of luxury goods and full service fits into that home environment. And, you know, it's a lot of things. It's new, and, you know, that's what's exciting about it, right? I think it's, you know, it looks beautiful. It's great. Great job.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Well, I have to say that I really love the intersection and you know, how you put together things that are actually trendy, right? Like well-being, frequency, luxury, and, you know, physical environments. It totally fits into the transformative tech community. So one of the things that I really advise you is to, you know, attend our events, especially if there is opportunity to showcase or to, you know, kind of be part of our transformative tech, you know, products to showcase. So because this is a community that is going to buy this, you know, this goods, is definitely a must-have. I love, you know, the design of it, and I think that the way that you have laid out as well, not only the, you know, the hardware product, but also the membership business model, and it's something that, you know, some founders forget, is that in the end there can be more purchases and people can, you know, get some more benefits in the long way, which is also great. And so yeah, I never met this before. I think that you have evolved in the way with, you know, with this community, the local community. But so far, what I see is amazing. And just one question is it already built? There is also there is already the physical
Yes.
hardware, the product.
Yeah, so we've got a 3D printed, fully functioning, working prototype. We haven't gone into the full sort of metal pressing and things like that, but we've got 3D prints of it. All the internals are built. APIs are connected to Apple Health Kit. We have a contract manufacturer that we're talking to up in China. Yeah, so we're sort of we're kind of all our ducks are kind of in a row. The sort of next bit is to really sort of take the MVP forward into the full app design. We've got future vision for a marketplace, subscription models into that marketplace, or download as you go. You know, that sort of fits into the whole community aspect of the experience. We're also looking at some work on NFTs in the blockchain. So when we actually capture biometric, we generate through Unity, and you'll see that image on the front of the screen, NFTs of your actual meditation experiences. So shareable objects which you can then return to as a community or for personal use, things like that. So we've got, you know, there's a huge roadmap. So it's really sort of, okay, let's do each little part at a time, so we can really get to where we want to go and grow it. You know, because this is my passion. I'm an immersive experience designer for a living, and you know, this is kind of a vision of what that is and how that represents that experience, and my 20-year experience in meditation and what that means to me. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Great. It's exciting for me too. So I can't wait to see you exhibiting. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much.
I was sold when I heard 10 hertz. That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
It would have been great if we could see a little demo video, you know, just because I think you're leaving a lot to our imagination.
Yeah.
Because you've got lighting, you know, you got sound, you got, you know, beautiful shape there and construction, but yeah, how do you create an immersive experience with the speaker other than sound, you know, and which is what you're doing, you know, and just so that we're not, you know, leaving it up to our imagination. But I like it. I kind of can see that you could probably go to a point where you can sell them for under $5,000, you know, like premium.
Yeah, look, that's an interesting spot actually. The positioning for the price of the product, because you know, it is very luxury. It's got incredible sound quality, and it's an object of desire. I mean, that's one of the sort of the key things. It is about bringing all of those different market sectors together, and you know, enabling the notion of beautiful design that still has a empathetic experience or a function in your life, but still exists as a thing of beauty. You know, it's a Fabergé egg. It's a Tibetan singing bowl of the 21st century. You know, you've got gyroscopes in it so you can move it, and you know, frequencies come out of it, and a bunch of different other technologies that I just don't have the time to talk about. You know, but they're in there. We just haven't turned them on yet. You know.
Yeah. But I think the blend between hardware and software with your subscription service, I think that's really important. Otherwise, you know, hardware businesses are tough, right? On their own.
Yeah.
Great job though. Good pitch.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's come a long way, Peter. In 1 week itself, very impressed. You know, amazing flow. And I think, yeah, this is a great point. The limited editions and, you know, the timeless luxury element. And we'll chat of that later because I did a lot of that at Siemens. So well done.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been great. Appreciate it.
Well done, mate. All right, so one to go. Thanks to everybody for hanging in there, that has hung in here. I'll give you a little insight into my world now. All right, so humanity is caught in a conditioned state of being, which is causing a cognitive crisis. Our purpose at I Am Connected is to elevate consciousness and evolve the human experience. But what does that even mean? So my name is Troy Haynes and I'm from I Am Connected. So through neuroscience and neurotechnologies, we've come to understand how our brainwave states influence how we view our reality. For example, when we're in a high beta brainwave state, the mind is active, our attention is fractionated, we are predisposed to our conditioning, increased stress, anxiety, fear, overwhelm, and reactivity. We draw meaning from our external world and consequently can easily find ourselves washed up in the world. Modern living is forcing us more and more into this fractionated state, which is causing a chronic mental health epidemic, growing fear and unrest. We know now that we move through the same brainwave states across the sleep and the waking states. Understanding the functions of each brainwave state enables us to learn how to access these states and optimize how we relate to our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, and our habits. Flow, problem solving, healing, creativity, meaning, wholeness. These are all accessed in alternate brainwave states. Eastern philosophies and practices have taught solutions to seekers for centuries, how to access these states. And now neuroscience is verifying what happens as we learn to use all the brainwave states that are available to us. So using wearable technologies and integration through the I Am Connected platform, connection to experts and we are having incredible success forming habits across sleep and waking states that reshape beliefs, open up possibilities, heal wounds, and objectively test and measure individual progress so that we learn intentionally how to access brainwave states and consequently new realities and new possibilities. So why now? It's because the need, the demand and means is here for the first time in human history. They've come together to make prioritizing human consciousness real. Over 15% of the global population suffers from a mental condition or substance abuse. Dementia is on the rise. Stress, worry, sadness, burnout, loneliness, they're all on the rise. And happiness around the world is on the decline. In terms of demand, the stigma is shifting around the world from mental health. And in fact, we're having a big shift towards mental wellness, and it's just beginning as a personal pathway towards high levels of well-being, performance, and potential. And in terms of means, the technology is here. Investment is flowing into this market. Science is leading the way, and consumers are seeking empowerment. The global wellness economy is a $4.5 trillion market as determined by the Global Wellness Institute. We look at I Am Connected at the mental wellness, which breaks down to 120.8 billion. And from here, it makes up self-improvement, brain boosting and nutraceuticals and botanicals, meditation and mindfulness, senses, spaces, and sleep. But the reality is there's a lot of competition in this space. That's a huge market. And, if I went to put all of these on here, it would just be overwhelming. I'm Connected is positioning itself as an integrated platform in the middle of these markets. And here we find a lot of corporate level offerings emerging. We're not a corporate level offering. We are more a consumer level, but we can see here in terms of features and competitive advantage, here we highlight some of the well-known corporate level wellbeing platforms along with product offerings that are more aligned to the consumer-focused market of I Am Connected. It's like bulletproof offerings, the Flow Research Collective, as Colin was talking about earlier, more of the biohacker consciousness hacking movement. Another way to look at it is the wellbeing spectrum. From mental health to mental wellness to human performance and human potential. Whilst many of the competitors are focused around mental health, moving towards mental wellness, I'm Connected is more focused towards human performance and potential. We have a live platform in the market where we're integrating objective data and wearable technologies to measure and optimize waking and sleep states. Daily subjective inputs help users to reflect on their inner world and identify internal patterns and beliefs which are limiting their potential. So it's like we're mapping individuals' consciousness to some extent. Our platform facilitates relative training, functionality, and community. And we build habits cooperatively through accountability, community, and gamification across meditation and sleep. Our business model is SaaS plus coaching. We offer programs and courses. We'll move towards retreats. We integrate different technology partners. So we sell tech, experiences. There's a B2C focused on the biohacking kind of movement initially, entrepreneurs, seekers, wellbeing enthusiasts, those early adopters that are using the technologies already. Small businesses, coaches and small teams, not so much enterprise, but the smaller businesses were having some level of success in targeting. At the moment, we have 50 beta users actively using the platform, most of them paid. We've generated 30K in revenue, delivered one global pilot program where we're looking at the effects of meditation on sleep and sleep and meditation on day-to-day wellbeing and performance. We're currently onboarding coaches. We anticipate revenues to hit 200K by the end of 2022. And we're building relationships through key organizations like Transformative Technologies, like Mind Medicine Australia for psychedelics, like Tech for Dreaming. Our team, as myself, we have a programming partner, co-founder, accounting partner, and some of the delivery professionals like naturopaths and sleep specialists. Right now, our ask is, we're iterating, we're learning, we're still in the very early stages. We're looking for people to join the movement, looking at data analysts, sales and marketing experts, blockchain experts, any domain experts, advisors, partnership opportunities. Realistically, we see that we're moving where we want to go is from an I to a we, and collectively pool our resources, our talents, and use entrepreneurship as a way to help map exciting new ways forward. That's what I'm doing.
Thank you, Troy. Oh, sorry, Konstantin.
I was just going to say, you got to finish with,
Troy,
are you in?
What was that, sorry?
You got to finish with, are you in?
Are you in? Are you in?
Great feedback. I am. So, well, thank you, Troy. Quickly, because I know I am connected, and I've been following your path from the beginning, so I am aware of what it is that you're doing, and I know this pitch is not meant to raise funds, or it's mostly to share what you are doing with all of us. And I also felt something similar to what happened to Dave. Is at the beginning, I quite didn't get what it is that you do until the end, that I understood that it's a SaaS plus coaching product. So, it took me a while to really understand what it is, because I also wanted to see where you are at and how that evolved. So my only feedback, besides the great pitch, and this image is very beautiful and informative, and the way you present it is amazing. So it always makes it really exciting to see how to reach all these, brain waves and mental states. And so my only feedback is to understand earlier from the beginning how it is that you're working. So it's, what's the product itself. But besides that, I think it's great. And I love to see how this is evolving, and, all the projections that you have for next year. And I encourage everyone in the community to follow him, because there is a lot of content that he always shares, and a lot of opportunities to, elevate your consciousness.
Thanks, Paul. I really appreciate your feedback, and you're right on. It does need some work. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Good pitch, stuff. But the thing is that if you had the devices and an image and your platform in the middle, I think it'll just land it immediately. Also, I mean, you kind of high level pitched it to me last time we spoke, but I want to have take a conversation offline. I got some ideas.
Great, man.
We're taking it into corporate.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think showing that the space is growing, and it's busy, and there's a lot of different breakthroughs coming with, like galvanic skin response and various other things, but like that you're a platform in the middle that's got a little bit of customizability in it to fit for purpose for teams, makes it relevant for corporate, I think for business, I should say, not just individual. Obviously the first movers are always going to be the people who spend $18,000 with Steve Kotler and, and all those guys, and basically come out of it and go, oh shit, that was interesting, but I could do more with that money. But I think, I'm only talking from my own direct experience, learning how to hack the Muse headset and export the data, and then read raw data, and then be guided by someone else, and then see the changes, makes a world of difference. But that's only the 0.001% of the world, right? I mean,
and that's what I've learned as well, man. You're 100% right. I feel like the opportunity is partly just helping build consistency and community with tech to some extent.
And there is a healthy community in the space. Like, look at the Muse community. It's massive.
Yeah, man. I'd love to catch up with you offline and chat around what's possible. I can show you through, and I know we talked about connecting you in, so I'd love to do that.
Yeah, sure. But good pitch. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Troy. Darren here. I really liked it and get it. I understand, and I agree with Paula. So your imaging and positioning is great. I think what my caution would be, the risk of boiling the ocean, and so I'd really like to understand. I always relate to the eBay super user example, right? Who are going to be the fanatics you first get on board that become the core of your network, that then allow you to radiate out from. So I think your use cases and that user experience, the first lot to expand to the second lot, the way that evolves. And I think I think that's important to capture the imagination, right? To have those specific use cases, and then understand what do the first group of fans look like that take advantage, and then how does that evolve as the product evolves and the service evolves. So because I can imagine many applications. I'm just not necessarily imagining the same ones as you. And so then I guess getting into this pitch, the clarity of how what's your first, second, third priority as you grow. I think that's the bit that will stop, I guess, people writing their own story. I think it'd do well to take control of that narrative, so as there's a clear growth path in those use cases.
Thanks, Darren. That's really great advice, mate. I'll take that on board, and I'd love to work something up and flick it back to you just to get your thoughts, if you'd be willing just to look at it.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. I understand it's only early. I can see a lot of work. It's just, where to from here,
Yeah, no, awesome. I appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, Troy, I think, again, there's so much opportunity there, and I know you've evolved it really well so far. I think the clarity of the solution, as was said earlier already, and narrowing it down to some of those use cases. And we can, have a more detailed session with Constantine together, so that we can talk about this smart, dynamic, adaptive platform, which is what we're really looking at. And I think there's some great learnings from the ones we've been talking of earlier. So it's a great pitch. I think the flow is good. Just to nail down the solution is what we can work on. Yeah.
Thanks, Anuraj. I appreciate your ongoing support, and I'd love to continue talking with you about it. And to get it to this stage where I could share the stories is great. So I've benefited from this pitch festival as much as anybody here. So, well, that's a wrap. Thanks so much from me for the opportunity to share what I'm working on. Thanks for all the founders out there that are doing the work to help elevate human consciousness. Does anybody have anything quick they want to share before we go? We're half an hour over time, so I apologize. But I just really wanted to allow the panel, because they are awesome, to offer the feedback to the founders, and I think it's been worth it. I think we're done. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to our panel members. Thank you so much, Anuraj. Thank you, Darren. Thanks, Constantine. And thanks, Paula. It's always great to have you involved. Thanks, Alison, Seamus, and Christine from Startup Tablelands. Thanks, Alison, particularly for being the timer tonight. It was great that we didn't actually need you too much. And of course, thanks to everybody that pitched tonight. It takes a lot of courage to put your ideas down and articulate and flesh them out. And I think everyone did awesome. So a round of applause for that. And thanks everybody for tuning in and supporting this movement, elevating human consciousness. What else is possible, right?
Well done, everyone.
Thank you for hosting it, Troy. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the opportunity. Great to see you guys putting yourself out there. This is obviously a safe zone, so take the feedback. There was a lot of positive advice coming from all the other advisors. I thought I'd be a little bit harsher, just because, I don't know. I think you always learn more from the hard feedback sometimes. I think I was a bit too nice today. Next time I'll be harsher. With love. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Well done.
Thanks, Anuraj.